Thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation here on Lagos Television, and on this side we are discussing combating substandard products in Lagos. Now, the influx of counterfeit or substandard products continues to remain an issue. If you recall, while we're taking our news point, we had a report from NAFDAC who also talked about the issues surrounding counterfeit substandard products. Joining us on the conversation to tell us more about what the LASCOPA is doing towards combating substandard products in Lagos, we are joined by the General Manager, LASCOPA, Afolabi Solebo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Is that the correct pronunciation of your name?
Afolabi Solebo.
Afolabi Solebo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I got it now.
Okay, so yes, let's begin with understanding the mandate of LASCOPA towards ensuring that consumers' rights are protected.
Yeah, thank you very much. The agency was created by 2015 law, though we have a 2025 law now, and simply to ensure that consumers in Lagos State do get value for money, satisfaction, and also to protect consumers against any form of exploitation, any form of people selling substandard and expired products. And this happened as a result of avalanche of complaints from members of the public who believe that their rights have been infringed upon by either service providers or business owners.
Okay, now let's understand this problem. Many have linked rapid population or urbanization to this substandard products, coming into the state. Let's understand, how serious the problem is right now.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a real serious issue. It's a menace. And Lagos being the
soul,
the hub, over 70% of products that comes into this country comes through Lagos. And Lagos serves as a place where all those goods are distributed across not only Nigeria, but across other West African countries. And it's very unfortunate that this kind of thing has been happening for now, but the way substandard products are coming into the country now, it's appalling. And it's very unfortunate because we believe that this is not something that can be addressed by just one agency. There has to be collaboration of all stakeholders, government, NAFDAC, Standard Organization of Nigeria, Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, Lagos Chamber of Commerce, and customs, and every other person. So it's something that can be tackled if we are very serious and transparent about it.
Okay, when you say if we're very serious and transparent about it, we have, many times, covered how, you enforce. When you go on enforcement, you see how serious, you go about your enforcement. And, just before we started the show, I told you about, how I used your agency, to get my money back from some people who were trying to cheat me. People can understand the seriousness of Lagos State and what LASCOPA is doing. But the problem is, how, what more can be done, even before this issue, these products get to the market or get to the consumers.
Yeah, thank you. I think you used the key words there, enforcement. There are laws everywhere, but how are we enforcing? That is how LASCOPA has been able to get to where we are today, though we still believe that there's still much to be done. How did they get here? Who are those saddled with the responsibility of ensuring or checking those products before they are being brought into this country? And at the end of the day, the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency deals directly with consumers. So we always do continuous public enlightenment, education, and sensitizing consumers across all the 5 divisions of the state, to the extent that tomorrow now will be in Surulere addressing some of these issues that has to do with consumers with over 400 youth corps members. So I think the major problem is we have to move away from being how do I put it now? We have to be proactive.
Okay, instead of being reactive.
Instead of being reactive. And it starts from doing enough monitoring, which we at LASCOPA we've been doing. And also to encourage members of the public, if you see something, say something. If you go out there and buy a product that ordinarily you believe that this product, because of counterfeiting, look-alike and everything, particularly products information, that's why we always encourage members of the public to ensure, one, that they check the products they are buying, because much as consumers do have rights, they also have responsibilities. And one of the responsibilities is by making personal decisions, where to buy, how to buy, ensuring that you obtain receipt for whatever product you're buying. Insist on product that you believe is not of good standard. You don't have to buy. And when you buy, ensure that you are given the receipt. So peradventure, any issue arises, you know where to go to. So it involves the government and other stakeholders, the traders, the manufacturers, even the consumers themselves.
Like you said, sorry, Joy. Like you said, we all have a role to play. We cannot just leave it with the enforcement agencies. You said consumers should check the products. They are buying or they're about to buy. So, what exactly should consumers look out for?
Yeah, thank you very much. They should look out for the product information, particularly on consumables. Any product that does not have NAFDAC number. And must have the day the product was manufactured and the date it will expire. And also, consumers should be very wary, because there are some people now that even the so-called product information, you have to check it very well.
Because sometimes it's being altered.
Yes, most of them are being altered. So it's a two-way thing, particularly for the consumers. Even when you get products that are substandard, we've dealt with so many cases in even vehicles. Even vehicles, we ensure that vehicles are replaced or the money paid for refunded. And the menace is something that it should be, if it cannot be totally eradicated, it should be reduced to the barest minimum, because at the end of the day, it affects our social, economic, and health too. Because you discover that apart from some equipment being brought into this country that are substandard, just yesterday we received a complainant that complained about having to do a test about the blood count, and they gave the person a wrong thing. This is somebody that the family is looking for the fruit of the womb. And they gave them, had it been when they now want to do blood transfusion, now give the person the wrong blood. What happens? Probably death or something like that. Is it you want to talk about building materials? That is the most of the cost of building collapsing here and there, and especially with substandard product. Are you talking about vehicle parts? Hardly ever will you see genuine vehicle parts now, because when you go to all those markets, they will bring some, for some of them that are, I just want you to know the truth. They will tell you this one, the same thing, the same product. This one is 10,000. We can give you this one for 7,000, and we have the one for 3,000. Same product.
So you make your choice.
You make your choice.
So this now brings me to a question of, we now understand that many Nigerians like to buy things cheap. So how do we now balance affordability and safety? In all of this.
Yeah, the issue of safety is very important. That is one of the responsibility of consumers. They're giving you prices of goods that that will not serve you, that may cause you havoc, that may cause you that may eventually even cause you death. So why would you want to go for that product? And if people continue to buy substandard product, it's more or less what they say, penny wise, pounds foolish. So it is one of the responsibility of consumers to take personal decision as to where to buy product and the kind of product they're buying.
Yeah, I hear everything that you have said talking about consumer rights and all, but again, in cases where a consumer reports a case of maybe counterfeit products or maybe not satisfied with services, and I want to understand how LASCOPA goes about investigation to ascertain that the consumer is really true, because again, people
so
sometimes can be
secret here.
no, no, just no. Because again, my point is people can be very funny at times, and maybe I sell something to you.
Okay.
What I sold is not bad, but you just want to be very funny, and then you say, oh, you're not satisfied with my services, and then you decide to report me. And so my point is, how do you handle cases when the customer reports, the manufacturers or whoever who has done that business is not actually at fault?
Yeah, thank you very much. In most cases, the number of cases we received, most of them are actually breach of the rights of consumers. You mentioned the issue of investigation. That is the very first thing we do when we receive complaints. Though we've received frivolous complaints, but what we do is we ensure discreet investigation. We will not just take your complaints hook, line, and sinker. We have to, in most cases, hear from the other party. And we've seen cases where we go ahead and do a laboratory test and find out that that product is actually good for human consumption. And even we've done cases whereby people complain about a refrigerator or air condition, and we put it to test, because we also have people and agencies and offices we can call to do independent investigation on products and goods. So if the complaint is frivolous, most times we make it public, because the agency was not set out to destroy people's businesses, but to ensure that consumers do get value for money and satisfaction.
I'd like you to also talk about a relationship, because again, earlier you said it's not something that only one person can do. All hands must be on deck. All stakeholders must join hands together to fight this menace, as you put it. And so, how is the relationship like between LASCOPA and NAFDAC, SON, and other stakeholders?
Yes, thank you very much. No agency can work in silos, like I said earlier on. And from my hand, especially when I assumed office, I paid courtesy visit to almost all stakeholders in this business of protecting consumers: NAFDAC, SON, Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, Lagos Chambers of Commerce, and also the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that's the FCCPC. But sincerely, it's not been something that, when some people believe that maybe you are doing the same thing they are doing. But we were able to sign an MOU with the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, which took place sometime around April this year. And since then, we've been working together, doing joint investigation, and sometimes doing joint enforcement. Just last week, we discussed extensively about some stores and supermarkets not displaying prices of goods. And we see it as exploitation, and it's unfair trade practices as well, because the price you find on the product or on the shelf is
what you get
and what you pay for. It must not be different from what is in your till. It will be exploitation of consumer, and very soon we will be doing enforcement on that. But it still boils down to that fact that no agency or commission can work alone. What may be within my purview may not be within your purview. So we escalate such to the appropriate agency or commission, and that is what we've been doing. Some we do get result, but most times we do not get a response, and that is not good, and that is not fair on the consumers that will end up being at the receiving end.
Okay. I'm glad you talked about goods on the shelf. Let's talk about online shopping now. which according to some research I did, shows that it's a major challenge in fighting, in combating substandard and fake products. So I'd like you to tell us, how much of a challenge, that has been, and which is, I'm talking about online shopping.
Yes, we've been able to make headway as regards this online shopping. And when we started, we discovered that most times people are being asked to pay before delivery. And on that space also, we found out that majority of people on that space will just take your money and they will block you. So we keep doing our own public enlightenment education on all our social media handles, in radio and television, to tell the consumers that you don't have to pay before delivery. You can pay on delivery. What you'll be losing is probably the money for delivery, rather than using the whole money that's meant to buy the product. So, and to a very large extent, the complaints from that space has reduced drastically, because even if you go on all the social media handles, now people selling, they will tell you payment on delivery. They give you the option of payment. It goes a long way to show you that there are some people that are really selling genuine products and doing genuine business. Because if you are insisting on payment on before delivery and the product is not brought to me, or what they brought to me is different from
what I ordered,
is
versus what I got.
Yeah. In that situation, we also encourage consumers to ensure, even if they are going to be paying before delivery, ensure that there's a physical address of that business owner, so that if there's any issue, we can visit, invite, and at the end of the day, we mediate. And if mediation fails, we go litigation.
Is there a working relationship with market leaders, especially when it has to do with consumables, the agency and the market leaders, the associations? Because again, they know those people that sell bad products in the market. So is there a working relationship between the agency and these leaders?
Yes, the agency do meet with market owners in our office, every now and then, and we discuss extensively on that, particularly on this no return policy. Because if a product is about to expire, the manufacturer of that product owes their people they supply the products to return such products, and they will be replaced for them. And we keep encouraging market people in the open market, particularly in Ikeja, Okeari, and others, that you don't have to bear the burden of selling these products when they expire, particularly when we talk about maybe towards the festive period. You said you are doing a promo on products that is maybe a day to expire, or the ones
because I wanted to say that they do that a lot.
that have expired and reduced. You say it is against the law. That is how we've been able to seal so many supermarkets and stores that contravenes that law of selling expired products.
Okay, still talking about the no return policy. I want to give an example, and I want to know whether the store owners were at fault. I was in a particular place, it was an eatery, and a woman sent her daughter in to buy a drink, and when she paid for it, and when she got out, the mother said, "No, that's not what I asked you to buy for me." So she came back in with the daughter that that this wasn't what she asked her daughter to buy, that she wanted to exchange, and they said no. Okay, give me back my money. They said no, that she had to take that drink by force. Was it right for the eatery to do that, or they were just being overzealous? And
they haven't left the premises?
No, they had not left the premises.
It is not right. It's only that consumers in Lagos State and Nigeria in general should know that there's nothing like no return or no refund policy. It is illegal, it is null and void. It is against the law. If I'm buying a product, especially the issue you just mentioned, and I'm still within the premises, even if there's a price difference, that is what I'll be paying for.
Yes,
but for you to tell me that
more,
nothing, no refund, we don't do refund, If this agency have recovered over 893 million naira on this issue of no refund, no refund policy, then it goes a long way to show you that even business owners and manufacturers of those products know that there's nothing like no refund policy. If I'm buying a product I'm not satisfied with, I can return.
Exactly.
Especially if that product is within the stipulated time that is it. Yeah, I can return. If the product is not serving me, it's still within the warranty, I can return. Okay. If I make an arrangement to get a hotel, and upon getting to the hotel I discover that what was posted online is different from what I'm seeing, I have a right to get a refund. If I book an airline and I didn't get services as required by law, I get a refund. That's why we keep telling people, do not sleep on your right.
Exactly.
Voice out. It's only when you voice out and seek redress, that is when the agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of protecting you, that's when they'll be able to stand up and protect you. If the agency have recovered over 40 million naira and over 10,000 US dollars from local and international airlines, it goes a long way to show you that the rights are there. It's just for people to know their rights, and when you know your rights, you should know where to go to for enforcement of your rights. So there's nothing like no return policy. The position of the law is very clear on that.
How about, sorry?
Now.
Okay, but that's not to say, because people again can be very funny.
Yes, they can.
But so how about cases where because it's very easy to say you want a refund when it has to do with goods that you can drop and say, give me back my money. But how about cases where it has to do with services, like I pay you to come do a service and I'm not satisfied with the quality of what you have done for me? Is there a way that can also be tackled?
Consumer rights is about goods and services. So if I'm paying you for a service that I didn't get value for money, I can seek for a refund. Even
when the person has rendered the service?
Rendered the service, but the service must be to my satisfaction. We've seen situations where somebody took a vehicle to a very big service center, and he took the car for transmission. And when they brought the car back, it was more or less that the engine was damaged. LASCOPA insisted on the engine being replaced, and it was replaced. So as a consumer, you must know your right and also your responsibility. So if you suffer any form of consumer breach, you should voice out. It's your responsibility to also seek redress. So it's only when you seek redress and give us the necessary information, receipts used in purchase, how you made the transfer and everything, that's why we can invite the parties. And no matter whose ox is God, the rights of consumers in this state must be protected.
Yeah. And speaking about reaching out, what are the mediums that aggrieved consumers can reach out to the agency?
Yeah, thank you. And first and foremost, anyone can walk into our head office at number 2B Soji at the Paper Close off Allen Avenue. We also have annex offices in Ikoyi Obalende, the local government secretariat there, Badagry local government, Bariga LCDA, Isolo local government, Ojo local government, Ekpe local government, and Agege local government. So for the agency to be closer to people, that is why we want to be we are already in the 5 divisions, but we want to be in some other places where it may be difficult for consumers to come to Ikeja always, so they can lodge their complaints there and they will be well attended to. And other forms of lodging complaints, we are on all social media platforms where you can lodge your complaint and somebody will respond to you almost immediately, and they will take your complaints, and if there are other documents that may be required, you will send your documents through there. We are on X, we are on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Also, we have phone numbers that people can call. Our hotline is 080 00 052 726. 080-00-052-726. And other lines are 081-2499-3895, 081-2499-3895, and 091-5389-4878. Also, you can reach us on our email addresses, lascopa@lagostate.gov.ng, lascopa@lagostate.gov.ng, or lascopa@gmail.com. And we can assure you, because in Lagos State we believe that consumers are kings. So lodge your complaints, and definitely once you seek redress, your complaints will be taken seriously, and in most cases you get value for money and satisfaction.
Okay, let's talk about your enforcement actions. What are the modalities for also carrying out enforcement? Do you have like a time to warn? And then after a while, what are the things you do towards enforcing actions?
Yeah, enforcement can take different ways by which we enforce. We know we have the monitoring and enforcement department of the agency. So in the course of doing their monitoring, especially when you find out that the particular store or supermarket are selling substandard products or expired products, we confiscate such products immediately to preserve it as evidence if we need to go to court. But most cases, once we do that, we take them to court, and such recalcitrant business owner will be fined. And it may even lead to sealing of that particular premises.
Okay, moving forward. No, okay, it's almost time. Just before we go, what other innovations or technologies are we expecting to see from LASCOPA? What should we expect?
Yes, LASCOPA is working assiduously so that people can just sit at the comfort of their homes and lodge their complaints, or when you see something, you say something. And every year we host the World Consumer Rights Day.
Yeah.
And this year's theme is Safe Products, Confident Consumers. So we are also working assiduously to even encourage business owners and manufacturers of products to key into this, because without the consumers there won't be any products to sell. So safe products, confident consumers. We encourage manufacturers of products to ensure that they are selling products that are not substandard in nature, that are not counterfeited, and if there's going to be any change in their product, they can inform us so that we'll be on the same page when the customers is complaining about the product. So we continue to ensure that consumers do get value for money and they are not exploited, and to help consumers against any form of unfair trade practices from business owners and manufacturers of goods as well.
Okay, quickly before we go, what is LASCOPA? I don't want to say what is LASCOPA's greatest challenge, during enforcement and of course combating substandard goods in Lagos?
We discovered that much as the agency is trying its best, we want more collaboration with other relevant stakeholders. We cannot do it alone. We want a situation whereby when we escalate issues to you, we want you to take it seriously, because it concerns health, economy, and social lives of people. We want a situation where once you get a message from us, and we'll be seeing it particularly amongst Lagos State agencies who will respond immediately. But it's not the same for some, not all, agencies that are outside Lagos State, because the menace is becoming too much, and the fraudsters are even perfecting the way they are counterfeiting products, the way they are altering product information, and with the collaboration of other agencies and with consumers themselves voicing out, it will go a long way to curb this menace if it cannot be totally
eradicated.
Thank you very much. The fight against substandard products is not the responsibility of government alone. We all have a role to play. I think I also reiterated this on Tuesday when we're talking about security, insecurity in Nigeria as a whole, that look, we can't just leave this fight alone for agencies, for the government, be it federal, be it state. We are the people, we are the ones at the receiving end, so we should play, more role. We should be more responsible, and it should start from the very, very, very lowest of the lowest. And I mean the foundation, from your children at home, from the primary schools, secondary schools. I'm glad you listened to General Manager LASCOPA here when he said they take sensitization programs out there to people to understand the harm and the danger of substandard products to their lives. Thank you very much, Mr. Afolabi Solebo, General Manager of the Lagos State Consumer Agency. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. Again, we've been talking about combating substandard products in Lagos. We'll be right back after this short break.